Well, 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 here we go. This is Sunday night and it's just about 3 minutes away from 9 o'clock. We've had 5 great matches over the weekend and this is going to be the last one tonight. And it's a round 3 match in this year's VP4 10-ball World Championships. And it's between Spectredawn from the UK, presumably England, and REELPOLANDPOWER, who will go under the name of Stub from the USA. It's a race to 14, it's alternate break, and it's a called shot game. All combos and banks should be called, the ball and the pocket. And we are all set to see how it's going to go. Well, Stub knows how it's going to go, or how it's going to go. As far as he's concerned, he's got it won. The tournament's in the bag. But we've already seen strong evidence that if Stub is going to win this, he's not only going to have to overcome Spectredawn, he's going to have to deal with Vinces, who is head and shoulders above anything I've seen in this tournament so far. He has been particularly strong and was so today against Bill. So we're all ready and prepared to go. Good evening, welcome. We'll have a quick look at the bracket. We'll focus mainly on what's happening on this side. On the winner's side, there's the result between Mr. Bill and Vinces. And it was a really strong performance. Bill did well, managing to steal a few racks at the end. But I think Vinces was up 13-3 at one point. Bill managed to get to 7. And he did well to get that. 1 or 2 more errors than he would have wanted today. And Vinces was more than capable and strong enough to take every chance he got, basically. So this is the match that we're waiting on. Spectredawn and Stub. And the room is up. And let's go. So we're going to have a lag for the break. And it all depends whether Stub wants to mess about or whether he wants to get in and get it started. He was all for getting it started about 5 days ago. But now he's hanging off until he probably gets the audio alert to let him know the room is up. I think he might still be in the other room practicing. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome back. Now, as I say, the best advice would be for most people to stay out of the room. And that way you can't get involved in chat and don't do anything to try and stir things up. And just let them get on with it. So here we go for the lag. Once again, I haven't a clue whose cue's what. I think that's Stub on the left though, the way he's queuing. That's probably Stub on the left. Or the far side as we look. And I think that is Spectredawn on the right, and I think he's won the lag. Yes, he has. So we're on a race to 14, and hopefully this doesn't take too long because it's going to run into my bedtime, so I'll try and stay awake. Oh dear, and straight away from the break, a few balls have gone in, and one of them was a cue ball. And Stub has ball in hand. And I don't think there's a problem on the table here. He just has to get good on that 4. And now, the thing I spoke about previously about Stub and is the fact that he is loose, and he's too loose with his positional play. That's his weakness. His potting isn't to be questioned because he can pot a ball and he can move a ball, but this is what's going to catch him out. And the important thing, of course, is whether Spectredawn can capitalise on these occasional mistakes. Well, that's not to say that Spectredawn might not have the same problem, but Stubb does have a weakness. If you compare him with the evidence that we saw earlier on today from Vinces is way ahead of Stubb as far as his control of the cue ball and positional play. Play some great shots this afternoon. If you didn't see it, then all of those videos are on my YouTube channel. Go to the page and just click the playlist and you'll be able to pick that match out. It's still worth watching. So both players have really got to be on top of their game. Well, this shot that Spectredawn has, it's in the wrong place to even pot it in the corner because he's heading towards that middle pocket, which is why he's stunned it up the table. He had to make sure he wasn't just going to try and gently stun that in because he was heading towards the middle pocket, so he had to be firm. And now he needs a nice kiss off this 8, and that has worked out very nice. Now where's the 8 ball going? He's okay. Needs to watch the power, and he's come inside the 10. Not risking hooking himself. And a perfect angle to drop over to the right side. It's too much of an angle, I think, to draw up to the left side. Oh dear, that's what always causes the problem. How many times have you guys seen this type of shot? I keep saying it, if you get yourself too square and you don't get that line, you're going to rattle in these jaws with a stun shot every day of the week. So we've had a couple of mistakes from both players, but the telling one has been made by Spectredawn. And it's given Stubb the first rack on the board, and now he has the break. Well, that's the first player in the tournament that has called the 10 ball off the break. Now my question there is, we're not playing, I don't think we're playing spot money. That's one rule that I didn't look at. Any of you guys that are watching this, have a look at the... I'm not going to change my page to go to the... to look at the actual rules, but I would look at the settings. Spot money's off. See, I don't play an awful lot of 10 ball either, so I don't know whether if Stubb had called that 10 ball there and it went in, would he have won the rack? Well, the thing is, he's the only player that's broke off and called the 10 ball in this tournament. Nobody else has done it. That was interesting. So Stubb has got first blood, and Spectredawn has made the first significant error. And Stubb has made his second one on the 5, but he's gone safe. Good evening, welcome everybody. Now I think we're going to be calling the 5 into the middle here. That's a big pocket. It needs to be a firm stun onto just the right half of that 9 ball for it to go in. Get my little doodle, see if I can beat Stubb to it. Just there. And that's perfect. Now the difficulty here is having to leave the high cut, and he's missed the 6. Trying to hold for that 7. So the mistakes. Now what's Spectredawn done here? Well, he's okay. So the mistakes are being made, and that's something to be remembered, because, you know, Stubb will make mistakes. It's all about not making it easy for your opponent. But Spectredawn is struggling for shape. So already the standards have fallen way below what I watched earlier this afternoon. But we'll give them time to warm up. Well, that's not going to be a full cover, so Spectredawn has a straight choice here. Well, he's called the bank. Now, is he playing the bank, or is he going to play safe? Because I've been caught out 3 or 4 times already by these players calling pockets. Well, he's picked it out, but look where he's going with the cue ball. Oh, this is a tough one to start off a match with. Presumably he's calling the left corner. Yeah. Need to watch the cue ball. It's, well, he called it, but I think in the middle of going to take the shot, he thought better of it. And I don't blame him. But Stubb's going to go for the cut. He's not playing safe. And this is the type of thing he will pull off more often than not, which keeps him on a run in Iraq. He relies on this type of shot to keep a run going, and he'll pick them off time after time. Where his main failing is the actual positional play. So it's now 2-0 to Stubb. Spectredawn breaks off rack number 3 with no joy. Now I wonder if Stubb's going to try and spin that cue ball up towards the 7, and where the 8 is up in that top left hand corner, because the angle he has with a bit of maybe help in English and a thin snick on the 1 would allow him to get up there. But he definitely sees different ways of getting safeties. To me, that's the better one, because you have a chance of nudging the 1 towards that 5, and you're also got a very strong chance of blocking out a shot to the 1 by going up behind the 7 and the 4 and where the 8 ball is. Well, he's going that way, but he didn't get any English on it. And now he's left the thin edge for Spectredawn to do a similar shot and try and just skim down, but you see he's got it too thick. He's just got it too thick. Okay, it's not easy. Now, how is that 3 ball sitting on the point of that pocket? Well, that is going nowhere on that. It's right on the tip. And that is a really tough position where that 3 ball is. So that's going to scupper any chances of anybody running this table. And that's a good jump. Needs a bit of luck. He's got it. But now the problems start immediately. Potting the 2's not the issue. He's got to look and get a good safety somehow off this 3 ball, and where it's sitting is very difficult. He's tried his best to get in to move it, but that was asking far too much. And now Stubb trying to just sneak behind the 6, but if he leaves a space and enough room and this 3 ball doesn't go, well, what's he doing? Reverse bank? I think he's more inclined to just bank it into the middle of the table and try and find somewhere behind the 6 and 9. No, he's gone for it. And I think he's going to get away with it. Well, that's too tight to risk anything. And Stubb will look to kick this in off the side rail. The other thing to bear in mind is the 4 ball isn't going anywhere up that top left-hand side. He's played a nice little kick off the rail. How's his luck? Well, let's just a quick look behind and see what he's got. He's not got a lot going for him here. He can't see enough, I don't think. Can he get enough of that to make a potting angle? I don't think. Is he trying to thin this into the right middle? Well, he's got the pot. It's a good pot, but once again, he's going to have to try and dig out another one. And this is where the cue ball usually ends up going all over the place with a lot of Stubbs' visits to the table. It's nowhere near as neat and tidy as the way Vinces was playing this afternoon, and pretty much every other match I've watched him in. And well, that's all very well. Spectredawn's still sitting there without anything on the board, and he's got a gilt-edged chance here if he can get out of that corner and see enough of this 6-ball. And that's going to run too far. It might be behind the 9. Has he gone far enough? Well, he's okay. And that's bouncing not too bad. Okay, he's not the right side of the 7, but he's got plenty of room to find a way around behind the 9. Well, he's stunned right across, and he's played that well. He could have let it run, but he was more confident in playing the stun to get there. And now he has to go far enough into that corner to give him a shot, unless he's going to use English. And he's going to have to. And he needs to be careful of the scratch here, depending how much he gets on this. And he's well away from it. So it's a comfortable run out by Spectredawn, which sends a good message to Stubb that if you're going to leave them hanging over the pocket, I'm going to come in and do the necessary. So it's back to 2-1. And once again, he's called the 10. And the 10 ball hasn't moved. And more importantly, he hasn't got a ball in the break. But Spectredawn has a shot. Now, while he's looking at that, well, clearly the 6 ball is a bit of an issue at this moment in time. And the other issue is that Spectredawn is just the wrong side of the 2 again. He's just going to have to try and come across twice. And that little kiss in the 9 has done him a little favour. Well, now we're in bedhead territory. This is a typical bedhead shot, leaving it way high an angle on this 4 ball to try and keep a run going. But he's played it well, and what's more, well, I think he's just going to get there. He's just got enough pace, and now he's got the angle to run into that 6 if he needs to. But he's taking a risk. Now, does he dare try to... Has he got the angle to chip it? He's going to try and find a gap. And it needs to slow up, but he's got a shot. And this would be a good rack to run out with some of the shots he's had to play so far. And he's going to drop nicely behind this 7. The spin's going to take him there. And he's going to be nice for the 8. Is he going to interfere with that middle pocket? No, I think he's okay. Or is he? He needs to be careful. No, he's fine. Oh, he's going to go square. He doesn't want this. And this is a toughie. This is really tough. And now we saw a similar shot in one of the matches. It wasn't today, it was a good few days ago, where instead of what Spectredawn did there, the player just went straight into the pocket in the opposite side and it didn't look on. He must have stunned it in. Well, Spectredawn's managed to deal with the 9 ball. Well, here's the real test. This is by far an easier shot, believe it or not. And in it goes. And he ain't hanging about, and it's 2 each. And I think Spectredawn's cottoned on to the idea as well. But you really need, I think, a kick onto that 10 ball for it to drop. It's solid in the middle of the pack. Now he's got the 8 ball in the break. What's he thinking here? Well, he's looking at lining up the 1-2. And this has got a good chance of going in. Once again, no idea where the 1 ball's going to finish exactly. But he can get cover if he can spin over behind that 9 or 6. Just a bit too much pace. And that's a weak one from Stubb. It's a thin cut. But if Spectredawn can get it and somehow avoid running into anything, it's a tall order, because the odds are he's going to hit something up there. But that cue ball could find a way down the table. Well, he's now got himself in real trouble. Yeah, the angle wasn't there. And that's given Stubb ball in hand. and everything wide open. So I think Stubb may well return the compliment here, provided he can keep a hold of that cue ball. And now he's playing from distance again. And that's why he's missed the 5. He's concentrating to hold for a shot in that 6. And that's going to be a sore one to take if Spectredawn can put this away. Because this is exactly what he has to do. Make sure that mistakes that his opponent makes are duly punished, which puts even more pressure on the opponent. Because if you can't hold yourself together and get the job done, if you're leaving chances from your mistakes, it's up to you yourself to put them away. Yeah, he's not pleased. He always types bullshit when he's played something stupid or missed something. And he always types that as well if you get lucky. So the 4 balls gone in, 3 balls gone in. What else went in? Yeah, 4 and 3 have gone. Stubbs got a shot in the 1. And he's going to have trouble to deal with here as well. Now I think it's important he gets the right side of that 6. Now once again, his positional play has let him down there. And this is where he's just relying on luck to get a position here and give himself a shot. Well, he might be able to make enough angle to pot that, but no, he can't, so he's trying to play safe. And again, that's weak. That is weak. It's an awkward cut, but there is enough room off the rail to help that go in. And this, if it misses a 9, is looking good. Well, there's a long way to go in the match, but well, for Stubbs' sake, I hope he can see where he's going wrong, because he's far too loose, and it's costing him. See, that's the good thing about being on the stream. You can say whatever your opinion is about the match and just let Stubb rattle away there, and there's no harm done. And provided Spectredawn just gets on with what he's doing, he now has a 2-rack gap, then, you know, Stubb can chat away all night and say what he thinks. If you don't respond, there's no problem. Just let him worry about his game. He's trailing 4-2. He's the one with work to do. Now this table here would give him the run out if he could have potted that 1, but he's missed the 1, and now it's going to be the 1-3 combo. Cue ball's going to be running into the 9 possibly. Had to rely on a bit of luck. Well, there's a bit of luck. He's bound to type lucky here with that shot, but that's what you need. But it's a wee awkward cut. Now, what I said earlier on today I don't know whether a lot of you guys were there, but you know, Stubb has always talked a good game, and a lot of the times he backs it up with his potting ability. But I told him years ago his weakness was his positional play if he's going to be consistent, and he's still no different. But the other thing I would say, and I said earlier, is the fact he does not play anywhere near enough like he used to. And Spectredawn trying to hold and get out for that 5 has made the error. So Stubbs' problem is simply not playing enough. And this, although this is a computer game, it's like real life in the sense that if you don't get the table time for long enough, you're going to lose that touch. It can't just click in. And he's by far and away much shorter a table time than what Spectredawn has been in the time he's been online. And it's going to show. But Stubb now has surely got to win this one. Yeah, there is a better standard of player in VP4. I don't think there's much doubt about that. And the other thing is, part of the reason for that is probably because VP4 is a tougher game. Certainly these pockets are tougher than what they are or what they were in VP3, and you could do a heck of a lot more with the cue ball in VP3. You know, you could put an extraordinary amount of spin on it and do stupid shots. I mean, you used to be able to force follow a ball that was dead on the rail at the top end of the table if you were playing cowboy, and you could play the in off a one ball that was nailed to the rail and the short rail at the far end of the table just with topspin. You could do all sorts of things like that. You can't get away with that sort of stuff in VP4 as much. So it's back to 4-3. Do you want me to rotate? There you go. There's a rotation. Or do you want a full rotation? Well, we know where the problem lies. It's there. I've actually spun around once on my chair as well, although you couldn't see it. Oh, is Andy in tonight? I never saw him. Well, that little double kiss there has helped out Spectredawn. Oh, if this runs into behind the 5, that could be problems. Oh, well, he's going to have to kick this. I think if he tries to just skim the side of that one, he's going to be held up with the 3 ball. Same with the kick shot as well. This 3 ball will stop the one running away. So it depends what pace he plays it at. Well, the one thing he doesn't want to do is set a lot of balls rolling about here, splitting up that 7 and 8. Now, ask a silly question. Who is Graham Bean? And Graham Bean says, I am. Well, I think that was a legal shot. Got the hit in the one, but I think Stubbs going to be in more problems here in a minute. Ah, it's that G-Money. See, that's why you're better off putting your VP4 name, then we all know who you are. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, Andy, not Andy, Bry was in the lobby a little, probably a couple of weeks back. He was in for about an hour and then disappeared. But he's only actually been online twice this year. And from the first time he came on this year, it was probably the best part of 2 years since he was online. He doesn't give an awful lot away, so you don't know. Well, at least I don't. He doesn't say an awful lot about how things are going and stuff like that. So, Stubb now with a chance to go all square, but again, that is woefully poor. He's going to have to dig out the cut and hold for that 8 ball. And he's got away with it again. And sooner or later, that is going to catch up with him. Might not in this match, but sooner or later it will. So it's all square across the board. 4 racks all. Spectredawn has the break in rack number 9. Well, the 3 and 9 go in. He's got a shot in the 1. The 2 is awkward. Now, is he just going to kill it dead weight? Has he gone far enough? He's fine. But now has to find a way out onto the 4. Well, he could go forward. I don't think there's any problem in doing that. And he's found a gap as well. Still got more work to do. Well, that was sweet. Oh, the angle's good in the 6 ball. I'm not even paying any attention to what Stubbs saying. I'm reading your guys' chat. I've seen it all before, so once you've seen it once, you don't need to see it all again. You just let him get on with it. And Spectredawn is doing the right thing. If he has muted him, fine. That's all the better. He can just chat away all night. Well, good evening to Ryan then, if you haven't played online. But I'll give you a bit of advice, Ryan, while you're watching. If you've been playing offline and you've been playing those AI players, it's a whole different ball game when you come online. You've got to play online. You've got to play a human being well. When I say human being, Stubbs the exception in that category. But when you get into competition online and there's tournaments every 5 minutes online, you've got $1,000 in your account if you've bought the offline version. and that'll allow you to have a year's registration where you can play in every room. Well, there's a mistake by Spectredawn. Now Stubb is looking to square the match again. Yep, get yourself online, give it a try, and well, you might surprise a few people. Well, you'll always find somebody to play with. How did you find the stream? That's the question. That's the question I'm asking. Tell me how you found the stream. Because I don't believe you went onto YouTube and typed in Virtual Pool 4. Surely. You must have stumbled over here by accident. Now, I wish I hadn't been looking at the chat there and see what happened. Obviously, Stubbs missed again. But it is good to find out how people stumble across a stream. And I don't mean a river. Oh, he snookered himself on the 5. I'm glad you people are watching this, because you can at least tell me what happened when I'm not paying attention. That needs to miss the 8. If it missed the 8, it'd have been good. Now, how many of those viewers that are watching on YouTube know that I'm a tactical genius? If they don't know, they know now. Oh, that was a poor one by Spectredawn. So there are mistakes coming from both players. I think it might be down to who makes the fewest at the end of the day. You know, I told you earlier on, there only is one. Doesn't matter how good Vinces looks. I talk a much better game than he plays. Now, is Stubb going to be able to put this one away? To be honest, I found the AI is... Well, that's correct. Or does they do ridiculous shots? Ah, right, so you were looking for VP4 snooker and it come up with 9ball.com. That's good. Always good to find out how you find your way here. So, Stubb has tied the match again. Now, is anybody getting the feeling that this match could go all the way? Because I am. I'm going to give you a bit of advice, Ryan. If you come online, you don't go and play semi-pro at snooker. Not if it's your first time online. He'll be happy to play you. And he'll be more than happy to dismember you as well at the same time. Spectredawn running for cover. Well, Spectredawn can try and hide behind the 10 and the 8 here if he can. That looks like the easiest option, but he might have to go across the table twice here, and the 5 ball will be moving up towards the 7. That's another new name, Bob. What does that say, Bob? Bob Beam. Oh, I don't know how many centuries I made in VP3. I made quite a few, but I was never counting them. But Apollon's the only one that counts his centuries. When are you going to play him, Semi? Because I'll tell you what, no matter how good you play, if you play him, it's always his fault that you win. Well, this is another thin one with a cue ball running. Well, he's played it controlled this time. Well, this looks likely that Stubb is going to go back into the lead for the second time, I think. He was 2-0 up at the start. Oh dear, well there's a mistake. Now how could he make that mistake on an 8 ball that he simply had to pot and get the cue ball up the table? He didn't have to do anything with the cue ball. Well, I can tell you why he's 89% at snooker. It's simply because he's played plenty of people that generally just fall into the same trap and going for everything and not get any strategy about their game at all. That's how he's 89% at snooker. That would soon come down if he started, if there was a lot of other people playing the game. But the time that he's online, the vast majority of people are in their bed. I mean, on my days off, I've seen him on here at 5 o'clock in the morning, my time. And Spectredawn has got it safe. Now is Stubb going to call the kick? I don't think he's going to take the bait. Don't start that again, Slim. There's no such thing as getting a ball to a rail in snooker. It's not that type of game. You guys stick to American football and baseball. Well, that is a cracking cut. And that's given Stubb the lead. And Stubb breaking off in rack number 12. No joy. And, well, not a real lot going for Spectredawn here. There is one possible option, which is a crazy risk. If he pots the 1, he could pot the 2 directly. But if he wants to get rid of that 4, he has to play the 2 onto the 5 and make the 4, and that's what he's going to do. Now you see, that's why I'm a tactical genius again. You see what I mean? I seen that shot long before Spectredawn got there. And now the safety. And he's going to sneak out. And that's loose. Well, you know what to do, Tin. It's a simple button press that solves that problem. There's a bit of tactical advice. Yeah, I didn't notice either. Again, I was too busy reading all the chat. But the most important thing is that Stubb is back in the lead. And Spectredawn is now chasing. And this is going to have to be a good one as well. Big distance to travel. And that was never going to get anywhere at that pace. Well, he can just cut the 7 onto the 8 and use the 8 as the blocker. But he looks as if he's lining up a cut here. He might be just overstepping his bounds here. Well, he's gone all out for it and he's got it. But again, the cue ball's running, and sooner or later that is going to happen. It is far too loose to be going for that type of shot. Right, well, I definitely would. I would just hit the button and have him shut up. How can he be very lucky when Stubbs played the scratch? That's what I'd like to know. So we're back all square. Oh, he's hilarious to watch, so he is. Never changes. Spectredawn gets the break, gets the ball, and gets a shot in the 1. Now I think he's going to have to stun into this 4 and hope he holds on it. Well, he's avoided it, but the problem with that shot is he's gone way over, too far. Let's have a little rotation here. Well, that is very thin, not worth any risk. Yeah, that's a good idea. That saves any unpleasant comments. Well, you can only be happy with that result. But once again, it is a poor safety by Stubb. Well, any fraction more, and that was cuttable, that 3. He got away with that there. And again, Stubb having a blast at the 3 and absolutely no position anywhere near the 4. Albeit the fact that the 4 was difficult enough to get to. Now, let's have a look at that 4-9. Well, how about the 10 ball bank? Is that on? How about that as a bank? I think he's going to call it. He's lining it up. Oh, that looks beautiful. That is absolutely superb. And the commentator's eye has done it again. Soon as I saw that there, it was asking for the bank. And that is a bonus. And Stubbs' break is dry. Now, has he got a shot in the one that can get him out? Well, he's going to have to thump this, because he's right on the rail. And he might, well, that's the thing, he might have actually scratched off that 9 ball because he had virtually no angle to work with. So he's done the right thing and played the safety. And look at these balls. All of these balls have a pocket. It's all going to hinge on this one ball. Spectredawn's collided. And the one is now on. Now, can Stubb run the table and keep himself in shape? No problem with the 2 and the 3. But he's got to get out onto the 4. Well, that is not a shot. That is really poor. That is in no way any sort of decent positional shot to make it easy to get to the 5. And this is why he's going to miss. And he's going to leave it on for Spectredawn. It is a loose positional play that is going to cost Stubb in the long run if he can't find a way through this match. It's going to be his undoing. But Spectredawn has got work to do. Just finding a way to get on that 5. And he got on it, but he's hung up the 4. And that's going to lock up, I think, is it? And he's still in trouble. He's going to have to spin that in. And it isn't there. And Spectredawn is going to have to bash this or do something to try and find a way out of that corner. And, well, what does he do now? Try and cut it back towards the 9. He's going to have to watch the pace on it, that he doesn't bring it out into play if he plays that, because that's the only side of the 7 he can hit. Yeah. He had to hit that softer and try and drop it in behind the 9. So I think this is this Stubbs' 3rd attempt to win this rack. And again, Stubb has overhit that by the country mile, so his touch isn't there for those shots. And in comparison to Vin Says, he's in nowhere near the same league as Vin Says is for his control of the cue ball. Having said that, though, he's played a half decent safety there. Got cover on the 10 ball. And Spectredawn going for the kick. Needs to get lucky. And if that keeps running to the rail, well, it needed to go another couple inches, to be honest. And I think Stubb is going to go too far. The age-old problem. He's gone on the short side towards the short rail. And now it's going to be, well, a really thin cut. Has to get the pace in this to get that ball to move. And now, of course, he's relying on luck. That's what gets Stubb. That's just a perfect example of what gets Stubb out of problems. And the match is back level again. Into rack 15. And we've been going for almost the hour. And we're halfway through the match. And I'll have a quick drink. Now, has anybody noticed that that Virtual Pool 4 10 Ball World Championship logo that I've got at the top of the screen, it looks as if the World Championship part is emblazoned onto the rail of the table. Anybody noticed that? It looks as if the name of the table is World Championship. That's what I mean. Well, now we're going to have a safety exchange here. 2 ball. At least I think that's a 2 ball. Is that the 2 or the 4 ball that's up there? It's the 2. It's of course the problem needing dealt with. And that's a good shot. A good shot on the 1. Now, I don't think he can billiard the 5 in. So he's not doing anything like that. He's just looking to play safe. Well, this is a good kick in here for Spectredawn. Is he going to refuse it? He can't get on the 3 anyway. So use the common sense approach. I don't do many overhead shots at all. See, there's a lot of players that do that. If you watch Mal when he's playing, if you watch him in his videos, whenever he's playing the AI, he's forever looking at a shot from above. I never look at a shot from above when I'm playing VP4. I've never used that button for that at all in game. Same as I never use the fine tune button. I think that's a pointless button. That's a button that could be used for something else in VP4. In VP3 and VP4, in all the years I've ever played any of those games, I have never used fine tune. Let alone the top down view. I tend to just go over like that and do stuff like that. But yes, of course, when you do that, it's going to show in the table. Ah, right, I know what you mean now when it automatically pops up in the overhead view. Yeah, I got you there. I still ain't getting rid of it though. I had it down in the bottom left hand corner and it was in amongst the chat, and that annoyed me even more. Well, I don't mind somebody playing a fine tune, but I don't use fine tune. And Stubb in trouble. Well, now would be the good time for somebody to break away and somehow get that 2-rack lead. It would be something to build on if they could. Now that's the minute gone. He's now got a minute extension. And he's taking his time trying to find a way to get to this 2-ball. When again, it might be a lot easier trying to push a ball towards another one and maybe tie something up. It'd be easier to do that, and it probably would be to try and get to the 2. Well, now, with ball in hand, it's all up to Spectredawn. Quick look. He's dead straight. And he's close to the rail as well. He's going to have to pinch an angle, which he's managed to do. And he's finished on the 7. Needs to stay away from the rail. Well, this can be off the side rail and out across the table. Well, he's stunned up. And he's sitting nice. So Spectredawn had stubbed in a hell of a lot of bother. And he has been rewarded by taking the run out from ball in hand, and it gives him a 1-rack lead again. Stubb with the break in rack number 16, and the break is dry. And Spectredawn, if he can get this 1 ball and get good on the 2, if he misses it, or if he gets a nice kiss like that, he has a chance to try and open up this gap. Now let's see what it looks like from his side. Well, he's fine. He just needs to get in behind the 9. And that will do. And now he just has to avoid traffic to get a sight on the 4. And the little nudge from the 10 onto the 6 has done him no harm at all, other than he's a wee bit straight. And now he's got a wee bit more angle just to deal with. It just means having to think about the cue ball more on this shot. And he's hung it, and it's came back to bite him again, just getting out of line slightly on that 5 ball. And that was just the problem there. The little bit of alignment just means you've got more thinking to do and a wee bit more work to worry about with the cue ball, and that's what's cost him in that one. And it's given Stubb an open invitation here to square the match again, and that was a mistake there by Spectredawn when he had the chance to open up the gap. Now, how significant might that be? Because it was a crucial miss at quite an important point when the 2-rack lead was staring him in the face, but that little square angle that he had was his undoing. And so we are back 8-all. Remember what I said earlier? I had a feeling this might go all the way. And so far, the way it's going, there's no reason for me to change my mind. And this time, Spectredawn gets a ball. Doesn't get great shape, although the pot is on. But he's going to have to rely on a bit of running here to get on that too. Yeah, again the wise move. Much easier to play a safety than it is to try and play some miracle shot. So it's the old kick and hope here. And it's a scratch. Well, it's ball in hand. And this is something that will give Spectredawn a little boost if he can put it away. Well, I think if there's going to be a problem, it might be this shot here, getting from the 2 and getting nicely on this 3-ball. And if that just checks there, that will do. Now there is a danger he can run into the 9. He might skim. I don't know whether it might be that he'll skim off that side of the 9, and that's where he's went. And the little kiss in the 10 has helped him out. And that's worked out pretty good. Oh, and this is a beautiful little angle in the 5. This is crying out to be potted. Little stunny draw. And perfect angle in the 7. Now, if I was him, I would just be slowing up a wee bit and getting this done. Sometimes players just get carried away a wee bit. And that one rattled. Well, no heroics here with this one. A simple little roll in would suffice. And this is a good response after that last rack. And it takes him back into the lead. And we're now pretty much into the business end of the match now. Spectredawn needing 5 more. Stubb, however, breaking in rack number 18 and gets the 3-ball in the break with a shot in the 1. Well, I think he has to get to at least here. And I'd love to see that shot again. He's content to leave it long and relying on wayward position to hold him together here. He's still out of line here. And I think he's now blocked himself. It's always going to catch up with you in the long run. And I think the outcome of this rack is so important. And Spectredawn has played a very solid safety shot there. That is very good. Stubb going for the kick, and I think he'll go full pelt at this. The big boom bang bang. He's called the 10. Now, did he call it in that pocket? No, he didn't. Slim, I'm not answering any PMs because the PMs all appear on stream. So if you're calling me a sexy mofo or something like that, I don't want people to be reading it. If it's something unpleasant you want to say, type it in the chat in the stream. I won't be embarrassed. That's what you've always got to remember about sending me any messages while I'm streaming. Any man and their dog can watch them and read them. And Stub, again, having to run the cue ball with pace, stunning it around the angles, and what do you know? It's hung up in the pocket. And I think this is now a great chance for Spectredawn, but he hasn't got the pace. He's just got past the middle pocket. It is a great chance for him to open up the gap at exactly the right time in the match, and that will do. The little kiss onto the 10. And if you're ever going to start building a lead, it's the perfect time to do it. And it's all at Stubbs' expense. It's him that made the mistake. And Spectredawn has taken advantage. He's now first to 10. Well, why are you sending me a second PM, Slim? I'm not going to open it. I can't open it. I'm not opening it to let people read it. Just type it in the chat. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. See that there? Well, I think Stubb is now under severe pressure. I mean, okay, Spectredawn still has to win 4 more racks, but there's a 2 rack deficit. And believe me, he's feeling the pinch. Now, can Spectredawn see enough of the edge of that one? No, he can't. He thought he could. Well, this is going to be the test of Stubbs' nerve. Let's have a look at this 4 ball. Well, there's no problem with the 4. The usual story, as long as you get on it. Now, when I say as long as you get on it, look where the 3 is. For Stubb to run this table, he's going to have to get from that 2 to the 3 and have the angle to go back up to get on that 4. Now, is there anybody else on Twitch? Right, give me. Well, I'm not gonna kill the stream right now, because it'll bring up the be back soon. Why does he not just jump into YouTube then? Tell him. I'll look at that before I kill the stream. But everything should be fine. Is there anybody else on Twitch that's watching who can type in the chat? Right. I'll wait to the end of this rack and I'll have a quick look. But I don't really want to miss anything here. Right, everybody's on YouTube. Slim must be the only person on Twitch. I thought he was typing earlier on. Was he on YouTube at the time? He was typing in the chat. Anyway, Stubb with the chance to get one back. And he's got the cut on the 10 ball. Well, I'm going to give him that 10 ball. He surely can't miss that. Right, guys. Stubb breaking off in the next rack. Give me 2 seconds. Right, I'm back. Right, I'm back. Oh, hey, I need to kill that. Right, I'm back. Hang on a Right, I'm back this time. Now, I typed something in I typed something in Twitch. I've checked all the settings. Everything looks okay. I'm going to try one other thing in a second. I've still got Twitch up in the background. Well, how does Spectredawn get on this 9? This is very, very tight. Let alone having to pot the 7. I mean, look at the gap that he has there. And to cut that 9, he has to finish about there. And I don't think he could have played that much better. But I still don't think he's got enough room, has he? Oh, that's a great shot. That is a great shot. What an excellent shot that is. Now, Slim, are you in YouTube now? Is that JP? Is that you, Slim? Well, Stubbs trying to lock up the 9 and 10, but that won't do him any good. Right, so you are there. Right. Well, it's now Spectredawn's chance to open the gap to 2 again. Now, the interesting thing is, I typed something in the chat. I seen Andy's text appear on my screen, but I didn't see mine. Right, Spectredawn's broke off. It's come up dry. Right, just hold on a second, guys. Right. I just tried to reassign Twitch to restream, but it's telling me I have to restart my stream for it to apply. It might be that, although it says everything's working okay, but I'm not going to touch it. I'm just going to leave it the way it is for the time being, and we'll concentrate on the end of this match. So Spectredawn played an excellent safety, hook and stub on the 9. And, well, it was odds on he was always going to get ball in hand, so he's now got the gap again. Right, well, that's worked. That's definitely on Twitch. I can see test. So Spectredawn, let's have a look down the line, hang on a minute. Yeah, he couldn't see enough of it, but can he get cover? If that 3 ball slows up, it's another damn good safety. And Spectredawn is applying the pressure. Yeah, I'm glad you told somebody, Slim, because as I say, I don't know what you're going to have typed in the chat. Well, Stubb has called a pocket. I don't believe he called the right middle pocket, so it's a miscall. And the worst possible outcome for Stubb is that the table is wide open, and that might be a vital mistake, because he was in a heck of a lot of trouble. Now, Spectredawn has gone fair. Well, the tough thing about this is being on the rail. I mean, if he just rolls through, he might brush off that 10 and go up. Well, he's trying to dig, but I think it would have been easier just to roll and brush off the 10. He would have at least had a cut on it, and he's tried to create something out of nothing. And Stubb has been given a lifeline here, and I think Spectredawn saw something that I didn't see. I don't think it was worth. I think he could have used the brush off that 10 ball to push him out into the table. It looked very likely that the cue ball was tracking towards it had he just followed through. And that really has handed Stubb a lifeline here. And in goes the 10. And the break now goes back to Stubb in rack number 22. And the match has been on for almost the 90 minutes. Not quite. It's past my bedtime. And I think I'm just going to kill the stream and bid you good night, guys. Let's see how many folk laugh at that one. Yeah, I'm going to be late into bed. Oh. Well, he's managed to avoid a scratch. What happened there? Again, I'm not paying attention. I'm too busy looking at the chat. It was the missed call from Spectredawn. Another decent enough safety. Now, I don't think we've seen Stubb using the jump cue tonight. I think he's pretty much kicked everything in his earlier match in the tournament. He was using the jump stick. And I think he's ditched it as a bad idea, and he's he's pretty much kicked everything. I don't know why, because, well, what's he doing? Oh, he has got the jump stick. Is that the jump stick? Well, Spectredawn is staring right down the barrel in this 2-ball. And this is a critical visit. Now, is he going to try and come down this right side? There are obstacles in the way. Because if he ended up finishing down here, well, he's got too much spin on it. It's killed the cue ball. But he might have left a 410 had he managed to go over the other side. But let's have a look at that. Hang on. Yeah. Obviously, the 4 wasn't going to go. Now, is he going to try a really ambitious billiard from the 4 to the 10? Or is he going to look for the tight safety if he can find one? He looks as if he's winding up here. Oh dear. And it's all gone wrong. Well, now, again, it's another lifeline for Stubb. And it's the opportunity to get back all square again. And this time the bad running was for Spectredawn. Another gilt edge opportunity to widen the gap right when it mattered. And he just can't get away. Well, this time Stubb has found good position in the 7. Oh my goodness me. Stubb trying to stun with a spin. And we've seen it umpteen times in this tournament. And my God, that might be a killer. Now, can Spectredawn find a way down to the 9? He's going to have to spin this and clip the 8. And I think he's just got that pace. Very nice indeed. And now it couldn't be simpler. You pot the 9. And the cue ball just runs up that way, or maybe that way. And if it slows up, oh dear. Far too much juice in it. Well, I don't know what has come across Stubb here. Not Stubb, Spectredawn. But why didn't he just play the simple shot? He ran it to the side rail. He didn't need to run it to the side rail. But what a shot he's pulled out. And this time, he's got the 2-rack lead. And it's now 12-10 with the break. And again, it's another dry one. And the 3 and the 6. Well, it's a combo that could be made. Very easy to make that combo, but again, provided you're down here. And now, Stubb is not quite backs to the wall yet, but not far off it. What about the billiard? No, I thought he was lining something up there. Well, he can play the billiard here very gentle, and he might just brush that 5 in. And if he still plays it gentle, he might leave a 2-10 combo. That might be a possibility. Well, I think he's just... I think this time there might be a 10 ball called here. There may well be a 10 ball combo billiard coming up. If he can just stun onto it straight without hitting the rail, he needs to stun onto it. Oh, he almost got it. Oh, and that 10 ball has done him a huge favour. It's rolled back across, pushed the cue ball in behind the 9 more or less. And that's heaped the pressure on Stubb even more. And now he's kicked and missed. So now it's ball in hand. Now is Spectredawn going to go for the breakout on this 3 and 6, or is he going to go stun across and play the combo? Well, he's went for the breakout and he hasn't got any luck. And once again, it's possibly another lifeline here for Stubb. Well, he's managed to clip the edge of that. I didn't think he could get it. And Stubb is in dire straits here now. And that 3 ball is on. And well, the only issue that I can see is this here. That might be the problem. Now, if you look at it, it goes past the 8. But it's where the 5 is that's the problem. And the angle that he's got here, he has to kill the pace in this, and he's dragged it. And he's played it well. He's played the drag shot to get around the corner and stop the cue ball running away. And that shows you he's still thinking about what he's doing. Well, this is straightforward enough to get to the 9. And as long as he's as straight as he can be like that, he's perfect. And most certainly, Spectredawn is within 1 of sending Stubb to the 1 loss side. And the break goes back to Stubb, trailing by 13 racks to 10. Spectredawn needing 1, and Stubb needing some help from somewhere to dig himself out of this hole. He's got a ball in the break, but no shot. Now that shot there is not a clever shot, because if Spectredawn wants, he can play right English and try and kick that 10 in. He can straighten the cue ball up just next to that 6, kick the 1 and call the 10 if he wants to be crazy. But what a way to finish the match if he could do that. There is a possibility that that shot's on. It'd be a miracle if it went in, but he who dares wins. But he's obviously not listening to me, and he's not interested. I think I'm getting a bit carried away. Well, that's the one thing when you come online. That's how you learn the game. Forget about tracking lines. You learn nothing in tracking lines. You've got to learn how to control the cue ball, learn how to work the English. And you'll get that through time and experience more than anything else. You can play with tracking lines all day. You'll get that instant gratification of potting balls. But you won't achieve anything in the long term. So Real Poland Power, or Stub as he's always been known to be, has had to jump out of trouble. He's managed to do it, a good jump. Now can he hold himself together to stay in the match? Because he's now at the point of no return. Well, Stubbs been saying all week it's going to be war. And right now he's in the trenches. But the only problem is the water is approaching his neck. He's going to have to start bailing pretty quickly here to stay alive on this side of the tournament. So just a little roll through. And he's going to get one back. Well, a lot of you guys will go before I'm finished once the match is over. So before that happens, I just want to take the opportunity and thank you for your company. I won't beg for subscriptions, but if you want to stay in touch with the tournament, provided I can get home in time, provided the guys arrange their matches at a time that I can get there, I'll hopefully get more of the matches. Now, there's no such thing as a match that isn't important. They're all going to be good matches. Especially on that one loss side. I mean, there are some real mean sons of bitches on that one loss side, no matter who ends up going from this match. So there's going to be a battle. It is definitely going to be a war to see the one loss side through. And that's what I'm looking forward to. But it has been good to have a bit more company. It is much appreciated. And don't forget that on that one loss side, we've got a double world champion, or virtual world champion, in semi-pro. So he's going to be battling his way to try and get a third title. He won the straight pool one. And he also won the 8-ball bar table world title. And he also beat Frankel in both of those finals. And Frankel, we would like to wish him all the best. And hopefully he gets some sort of remission. And hopefully he might be able to drop by and see something in this tournament. So now, Stub at the table, the 2-7 combo. And he's going to have to be pretty delicate with this one while he's going through. Remember, I told you guys earlier on, you're all my witness. I said this might go all the way. And it isn't over yet. It's all about Stub holding his nerve. Well, he shouldn't have any problem getting to the 6. Oh, he's just nudged the 10 far enough. Well, once again, he's relying on getting good shape on this 9. It looks easy. And it's got to be a straight roll through. He can't do anything else. And he's got to be brave enough to go far enough to make it simple. And he's got there. Well, Stubb is back to within 1. And now, even though Stubb's still trailing, the pressure has now went straight back onto Spectredawn. Believe me, it has. And Stubbs just broke off. And he's got a couple of balls in the break. He's got a cut in the 1. And he's going to have to do something to get to this 3. And he's played it well. The 4's over the top left-hand corner. And it's now looking ominously likely that it could possibly be going all the way. Oh, it's gone too far, has it? Well, there we go. That might be the fatal mistake. Again, the positional error is going to cost him, and I think he's banging his head off the desk right now. He's got to call a pocket and give it a blast and hope. And if ever you want an example of keeping the position play tight, that would be it. So the 10's gone in, it gets respotted. It's a missed call. Now what does Spectredawn do? Because this is really ugly. This is really ugly. Does he put Stubb back in? Or does he just try and roll this safe? Because he's so close to the 6, it's difficult to judge how well the 6 moving. Well, what a shot. What a shot in the 6. Now he needs to run into the 10. And it looks as if he can't do anything but roll into the 10. And he's overcut the 7. Oh dear. Well, the nerves are really showing now, and Stubb is going to have to pick one out. What a cracking 6 ball that was, but that was the test of nerves has caught up with Spectredawn there. And Stubb looking to find the potting angle on this 7. And look at how close he is. And he's not cut it enough. And it's another tough one for Spectredawn, but he's got a perfect angle to come out for the 8. It's all about the pot. And again, he's cut it to the rail and he's really feeling it. But look at where the 7 is. I've always said these are the toughest shots in the game. Getting it out and getting a shot in the next ball. And is this going to go square? Well, it is still a tester to control the cue ball. Is he going forward here? Surely he's not going forward. He wants a deep draw, but a soft deep draw, if you know what I mean. And he's not prepared to risk it. Well, barring a disaster, the cut is on. And the natural path of the cue ball has to be on the 10. He's going to run into the 10. He's going to get the kiss. Oh, he's just glanced it. And he's going to have to pull out a thin one to take this all the way. Watch the cue ball. And the cue ball safe. And Spectredawn is now getting asked all the questions. And he's made 2 vital mistakes. 2 misses that have cost him And we are going all the way, folks. We're at 13 racks all. And Spectredawn has the break. And he's got the 7 ball in the break. Has he got a shot in the 1? And I think the answer to that is no, he hasn't. Well, that's loose. Surely Spectredawn's got to just bend it and cut it in. He's got to take the risk, and he's got there. And he's on the 2. And he can go around the angles and come out somewhere down this way to get on the 3. And he's got there as well as he keeps going past the 8. Well, this is where your bottle is tested. Has he got the bottle to get the job done this time? Because he's still got severe problems here. Can he go past the 5 and get to the 6? How's he going to get to this 6 ball? Well, the angle he's got, he would draw it across. He's got the little stunny draw. Now, let's have a look. Well, the 6 goes. Oh, he's hung it again. He has hung it again. And that's 3 vital misses. And Stubb has now got the chance to take himself through. And Spectredawn is going to have nightmares. And Stubb is always dangerous. He's not the most controlled player in the game. His positional play is what lets him down. His chat lets him down. But when the nerves are tested, Spectredawn has been found wanting. But it's still to be done. And Stubb has missed the 8. And the 8's going to go safe. Well, what the hell's going to happen in this now? And Stubb, look where he finished on the 9. He had no shot in the 9. And is he going to risk the thin cut in this 8 or call the bank? My goodness me. He's looking to play the safe. And that is not anything like is ever going to be a good bank. It might be just a roll up to the 8. Just a double hit. Well, he's looking at around the angles here to call the bank. And this is all your eggs into one basket. That's the shot. Play the bank. And get around the table. And get up behind the 10. It's all or nothing. And he's decided it ain't on. And he's went for my first choice in the first place. Well, sooner or later, somebody's going to nudge it. And it's going to come off the rail. And there's going to be an angle to play the bank. It's all a question of who has the nerve to risk it. And once again, Stubb is trying to fool me. He's called the pocket. Is he going to brave it this time? Same shot applies. I think he's just going thin to run across again. Well, He's gone for it. He's missed it, but it's going to be a scratch. And surely this time, I mean, take your hat off to Stubb for being brave enough to have a go at it. And he's gifted it to Spectredawn. If Spectredawn can come off the rail, which even I could do this shot. And just to roll in on the 10. And in it goes. Now what a finish to the match. But that was admirable that Stubb took the risk. He could have easily rolled to the 8 ball. He could have easily rolled it, and it could have been on for 5 or 10 more minutes. But he took the risk, and the worst possible outcome. It was probably going reasonably safe, I think, but the scratch in the middle cost him. And somehow or other, Spectredawn has found his way through, and it's turned out to be quite a match, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll have one last quick look at the bracket, and we will see, once this updates, that Spectredawn is now going to be playing Acero on the bottom half. And Vinces is lying in the next round. Now over on the one-loss side, we can see that REELPOLANDPOWER or Stubb is now going to play Snake Eyes, and that is a dangerous match as well for him. And Bedhead to play VP Monster, and there's more results to come through. So until we meet again, folks, it's been a great night. Good company. Thanks for watching. Take care. It's well past my bedtime and I am going because I'm up at 4 AM. And hopefully you can join us again very soon. So until we meet again, good night and thanks for joining.